Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well. How is your journey going? What is happening in your world? I would really love to know. I just really want to connect with other members of this community around how is your journey going? How are you doing? How is your business doing? How's your experience doing? So I'm posting this video to ask for some community connection along the way, some feedback on something that I'm going to share, and just some community along the way. So for those that don't know me, my name is Chantel Thompson and I'm a proud Barkindji Ngimpa woman, which means I'm a First Nations Australian woman, and I'm 42 and I'm a very proud single mum of 5 children, and I am on my journey back home to myself after a season of challenges, mental health, and a few other things. And I'm now rebuilding myself, my home, my life, and my business and my brand. And my entrepreneurship is coming full circle. So when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, it was out of a need to, I was a full-time athlete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was a mum of 3 children, and I was studying to be a teacher, and I had a job working in social services in the community. Effectively, I was a self-funded athlete, and I was showing international level potential. So I had to choose between having a full-time normal job and my dream. So I chose entrepreneurship called me, and I started to tell my story, and I started to build my business around being a personal brand. However, life happened, all the things happened, and I got distracted from that initial thing and started doing all the things. And I wanted to become a sponsored, funded athlete, a paid athlete, through speaking, through sponsors, through partnerships, to support my journey to become a world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, with the intention to inspire and empower people with a particular focus on Indigenous people and women and girls around our own power and potential, and using my story, my journey, and Jiu-Jitsu as a vehicle to show what is possible, that we are powerful, and that we are allowed to matter in our own experience. Now, come full circle 10 years later, I'm coming back to that journey. So I have just created my first website, and this has been over a decade in the making. I've had some mental, spiritual, and emotional resistance and fear around putting myself out there to this level. But this time I'm holding my hand as I move with the fear, and coming back to courage, that the purpose and the dream is bigger than the fear and the resistance. So using Arlen's teachings, I created my first Lovable website. And the purpose of this website is, my story is my offer, or the entry point. I'm still refining the transformation that has for people. So the purpose right now is to get more speaking gigs, more corporate engagements, and then organically over time, my community will grow, the vision, the mission will grow, and getting people involved in the journey is the offer at the moment. The brand is the offer. So I still have a lot of work to do in going, what is the transformation of the offer for my people? I currently have a school community, I have an active YouTube channel, and now I'm writing my book, which is coming out in October, The Journey, Suicide to World Champion, The Journey of the Barkindji Warrior. And that is a journal, a manifesto of how I went from suicide to world champion and the lessons that I learned along the way. So could you please have a look at my Lovable and let me know what resonates for you, what you feel is missing. The purpose of this website is to invite people into the world of Chantel, to give them an overview of and there's 4 pillars. There's the woman, who is the Indigenous woman and the mother, There is the Barkindji Warrior, which is my athlete persona. There is the Warrior Heart, which is the movement I'm creating, which is about empowering people to come home to themselves and that our truth lives in our heart, and that we are worth fighting for. And then the Kilana Foundation is my community work around empowering Indigenous women and youth to come back to culture, to come back to purpose, and to come back to being well. And the purpose of this Lovable website is to give people an entry point into who I am and the work that I'm doing in the world, and to be able to give them a touch point, and then they get to choose which pathway they want to take, whether it's to get to know the woman, to get to know the athlete, the Warrior Heart movement, and the idea is to get booked for speaking gigs, invite people into the movement, to the community, or to potentially start to engage potential brand opportunities, sponsor opportunities. So any feedback that you can have on that, any insight if you are a personal brand, I still have a lot of work to do on refining it, but I'm putting it out there. I'm figuring it out, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening. And if I seem a little scattered or nervous, if you've gotten to this point of the video, it is because I am driving a 12-hour drive from one location to one of the major cities in Australia, Sydney, to do my first jiu-jitsu competition for the year. And I am up against women who are full-time athletes or who own their own gyms, who are coaches. And currently I'm coaching myself and training out of my garage with no actual training partners, jiu-jitsu based training partners. And I'm going to a state level competition to compete against women who are far more resourced and prepared than I am. But this is what it is in this season, to back myself, to follow my dreams. So I'm on a 12-hour drive. I'm listening to Alan's Authority Playbook, and I decided to put this into the communities and plant it somewhere else outside of myself. I hope you have a blessed day, and if you've gotten this far, thank you so much.